This is Wadu TV, truth and integrity. This is Wadu TV, truth and integrity.
I am humbled and grateful.
This is Wadu TV.
Granted, and I thank leadership for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, it is with deep concern and sorrow that I make this important statement to recognize the impact of the tragic incident that has been reported in our media space just this morning. The death of some 6 potential recruits for the Ghana Armed Forces, which took place at the Airworks Sports Stadium in Accra. Speaker, indeed, as has been confirmed by the Ghana Armed Forces in its press statement issued this morning, we have all been caused to recline to mourning. Our heavy hearts go out to the families of those victims, including the several others who have been injured on various levels of severity and receiving treatment. Speaker, at the hearing of this news, I thought of the words of Shakespeare in The Tempest when he said, quote, "We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep," unquote. These victims were once among thousands of Ghanaians waiting for the opportunity to join the Ghana Armed Forces, but met their fate in such an unfortunate event. This is no small matter to shelve, and as concerned and indeed affected leaders, we must move to restore hope in our people, even in the time of grief. Speaker, the grief heightened when other reports came indicating that the death toll was now at least 12 persons. It then came clearly to me that we must act immediately to resolve the risks associated with such recruitment process which have lingered too long a time. I resolve to make this important call as first step to immediately suspend the recruitment process for the time. We also must urgently ensure that the process be decentralized or further decentralized to address the excessively large crowds as well as the other risks faced by people traveling various parts of the country. As an arm of government, we urgently need the Deputy Minister for Defense, under the circumstance, to come to the House and brief the people on what alternative measures will be employed to deal with such risks. Speaker, this is not merely a tragic accident. It is a profound and systemic failure and the indictment of a system that has lost its effectiveness. This sad news from Airworks is a definite wake-up call. It is a direct summons to the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ministry of Defense, and the nation at large. The question is no longer about protocol or procedure. It is about humanity and leadership. Speaker, in the spirit of patriotism and the begging need to honor those bold, hopeful victims whose spirits led them only to the brink of true service to their nation, Ghana, we must review the existing practice relating to this recruitment. Let us bear in mind that a greater blow to our nation will be the day that men and women refuse to enlist because of the many challenges the service agencies' recruitment are plagued with. Speaker, in conclusion, my call is simple and devoid of ill will to any agency of the state, but rather an advocacy for the teeming youth who will today or tomorrow be faced with the same risks. Let it not be said that we looked on with heavy heart and folded our arms. I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, from what I have here, the next person who is to comment on the state. And so, by the standing orders, your comment should not exceed 5 minutes. You may do so now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, this is an urgent statement on the unfortunate tragic stampede at the Elwak Stadium earlier this morning. The Right Honorable Speaker, I rise this afternoon with deep sorrow to draw the attention of this Honorable House to the tragic stampede that occurred earlier today at the Elwak Sports Stadium in Accra during the ongoing Ghana Armed Forces recruitment exercise. Reports indicate that some potential recruits lost their lives, while many others sustained various degrees of injury in their attempt to go through the screening process for enlistment into the Ghana Armed Forces. Mr. Speaker, this incident is a national tragedy. It is a painful reminder of the risk and desperation that many of our young people face in search of opportunities to serve and contribute to the development of our nation. No one deserves to die in seeking an opportunity to serve the badge of this country. These were young people, patriotic citizens responding to a national call to duty. Their only desire was to serve Ghana under the flag with loyalty and pride. Mr. Speaker, I extend my heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families and loved ones of all who lost their lives in this unfortunate event. To those who sustained injuries, we pray for their full recovery, and our thoughts and sympathies are with them in this difficult period. Mr. Speaker, I wish to commend His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama for his swift and compassionate response. His prompt visit to the 37 military hospital demonstrates true leadership and empathy. It sends a powerful message that the government stands firmly with victims and their families in this difficult time. I also acknowledge the efforts of the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Police Service, the National Ambulance Service, and the dedicated medical professionals who responded quickly to the emergency and worked tirelessly to save many more lives. Mr. Speaker, we cannot treat this as an isolated incident. There must be a full-scale investigation into the circumstances surrounding the tragedy, from crowd management and planning to logistics and coordination. We must establish accountability and ensure that the systemic failures that led to this incident are decisively addressed. If anyone slept on their job, they must be sanctioned accordingly. The findings, Mr. Speaker, of this investigation should guide immediate and practical reforms in the recruitment processes of our security institutions. Mr. Speaker, it is time to rethink the centralized mode of conducting these recruitment exercises. The days of assembling thousands of young applicants in a single venue must end. We must further decentralize the process and adopt a data-driven, technology-enabled system that allows applicants to be screened and processed in batches across various regions. This approach will enhance transparency, efficiency, and more importantly, safety, while preserving the dignity of our young people. Finally, Mr. Speaker, this tragedy must awaken our collective conscience. As a nation, it calls for renewed commitment to creating decent and sustainable jobs for our young people, so that the desperation does not push them into unsafe situations. Let this not be another headline that fades away, Mr. Speaker. Let it be a turning point that compels us to act responsibly, humanely, and with urgency towards our young citizens. Mr. Speaker, I humbly call on you to direct the relevant committees of Parliament to look into this tragedy. May the souls of the departed rest in perfect peace, and may our nation learn and rise stronger from this painful loss. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to have a bite on these statements ably made by members in this House. First by Honourable Anodom Prayer, and that of my brother Edem Agbana. I also add my voice to console parents who have lost their lovely ones at this moment unexpectedly, and also the injured. May the good Lord heal them fast for us. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure it's good to put things on record. I was just monitoring the news, and I can be on authority that at 37 military hospital, the officer in charge is confirming that it's about 6 lives lost and 12 in critical condition, and by the grace of God, they are responding to treatment. And then instead of the 12 lives that people are thinking it is. So let's have the records well done that way. And to also indicate that ideally they have decentralized, because I just called one of the officers I know. The figures are about Elwak alone, 22,000 young people looking for the job here. Tamale, 5,000 people. When you get to the Bono and Ahafo combined, 8,000. So in totality, that's Manos Bunu East. So in totality, about 50,000 youthful, able-bodied men looking for non-existing jobs. This also tells us as if, as a country, we have not been fair to the youth. Let's think of that direction, Mr. Speaker. 55,000 people looking for jobs. It means they have not been in employment, and that is what it means.
Honourable members.
So, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable member.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Please.
Yes,
please,
Mr. Speaker.
Please.
Thank you.
Please, we operate within our rules. The standing orders don't permit what we are saying now. Please. This is a statement. Yesterday, I used a term, and many of you reacted privately. I used a term, confirmation bias. Before I allowed the commentary, I read the rules of the House to you. You have all ignored the rules. And what you have in your heads, you are telling us, which are not in the letter or spirit of the rules. Even my son, Honorable Agbena, also decided to tell us what he has already got, not according to the rules. I stated clearly that when a statement is read, the rest that follow are comments. But you also started reading a statement. Now, those comments are not to provoke debate. They are to be restricted to facts. Commentary on statements should not generate debate. So you don't talk about things that are controversial. Please, the rules are clear on this. And I told you it should not be more than 5 minutes. It should not exceed, the word used is exceed 5 minutes. So please, wind up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm guided, I'm grateful. And so, Mr. Speaker, by this, I add my voice to console the bereaved families and to also wish those who are injured well. I'm grateful, Mr. Speaker, for your guidance. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you for the opportunity to add my voice to what one of the makers of the statement termed as a national tragedy. Indeed, it is a national tragedy, and I wish to sincerely thank the makers of this statement. Mr. Speaker, either two, recruitment, or all those wanting to be recruited into the Ghana Armed Forces gathered at Elwak, it became necessary for us to decentralize the whole process. And in fact, the very first time I heard of the decentralization of the process, I thought that finally we had nailed, we had gotten it right. But here we are with the same problem facing the country. One of the makers of the statement said that this is a turning point for this country to do things right. Mr. Speaker, indeed, it is the turning point for us to do things right. I believe that all of us must put our shoulders to the wheel. We cannot continue to see our sons and daughters who want to serve this country go or perish this way. It is rather a sad story. Mr. Speaker, I am a father, and if my son or a daughter wanting to serve this country by wearing the uniform perish this way, Mr. Speaker, that definitely will break me down. We all need to come together as a house to support not only the Ghana Armed Forces, but any recruiting agency or institution, so that we will never come to terms, or we will never face a situation like this again. Just yesterday, a report was released on the perishing of our dear ones through a plane crash. Today, it is a different story. Mr. Speaker, we don't know what will happen tomorrow, but I believe sincerely that if we, all of us, put our shoulders to the wheel, we will find a lasting solution to this problem. It is indeed a national tragedy that we will never want to see again. And the only way we can never see again is when we come together to find a lasting solution. Mr. Speaker, with these few words, let me thank the makers of this statement for the wonderful peace given to us. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for giving me the opportunity to comment on the statement ably made by our two colleagues. Mr. Speaker, I would like to also express profound sorrow at the deaths of 6 of our compatriots who went to the Elwak Stadium this morning in order that they could be selected to join our armed forces. Mr. Speaker, that said, I would want to quickly commend the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Mahama, for swiftly responding to the crisis by visiting the wounded at the 37 Military Hospital this morning. In fact, Mr. Speaker, the President did not only visit 37 Military Hospital to commiserate with the families of the deceased and also to console the wounded, he immediately ordered that the process be halted at the Elwak Stadium. And so I want to assure the majority whip, who in his statement called for minority whip, sorry, Mr. Speaker, minority whip, who in his statement called for the halting of the process to pave the way for investigations Mr. Speaker, that has already been done. And so as we speak, there is no recruitment exercise ongoing at the Elwak Sports Stadium. Mr. Speaker, the maker of the statement, the minority whip, also alluded to the fact that there is need for further decentralization. I just want to place on record, Mr. Speaker, that for a very long time, the recruitment process was centralized. It took the intervention of this government to revert back to the old system of having the process decentralized. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable member, factually, you are incorrect. Factually, you are incorrect.
Mr. Speaker, my take is that for a long time, the decentralized character of recruitment had been shelved, and that it was in recent times, under this particular dispensation, the decision to revert back to the old system came into being.
Honorable member, make comments. Don't raise issues that are debatable. Let's comment and move on.
Mr. Speaker, I take a cue. Mr. Speaker, let me further touch on another issue which has to do with the crowds that poured out at the various recruitment centers. And I ask myself, why would this happen even when the process has been heavily decentralized to the extent that today, as we speak, across all the regional capitals, the same exercise is ongoing? I ask myself that question. Mr. Speaker, could it be that since 2021, the military did not advertise for recruitment, and that once the adverts were made this time around, a lot of the youth who are unemployed thought that this is an opportunity to at least put themselves up for recruitment? Because since 2021, we haven't had the situation whereby the whole process was advertised in a transparent manner and people asked to report at the various training centers for recruitment. That is a question I ask. Be that as it may, Mr. Speaker, I support the calls for this matter to be thoroughly investigated in order to ensure that we don't have a future reoccurrence of the tragedy that happened today. I thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Dominic Netiwu.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, let me take this opportunity to sincerely sympathize with the families of the people who lost their lives in these tragic circumstances where young people indeed went out there to look for a job for themselves, only to find themselves lying in the mortuary. The last thing we can do is to politicize their deaths. It's very, very painful, because if you're a family member, you'll be very sad to see somebody trying to do politics with this. So I will not, and I don't expect any member to do that. But Mr. Speaker, the military had never, not under my watch, or under Kumbo or Woyongo, or Kandapa or Adukufo, or any of the ministers of defense in the past, deviated from what they are currently doing. They had always gone to the regional capitals to do exactly what they are doing now. Never. We did that in 2017, 2021, we did the same thing. At no point did the military deviate from that exercise. I just wanted to make that correction. It's always been the same thing. There are two forms of getting people into the military. The officers is called enlistment, and the recruit is called recruitment. The current system is recruitment. And every year, we enlist people into the military. That's the officer call. But for the recruitment, once people apply and they have qualified, you don't want to waste the time of the Ghanaian youth again to every year be applying only to collect money from them. You never want to do that. So sometimes you do it biennially, or sometimes you can even do it every year if they are there. Mr. Speaker, as we sit today, I can tell you that over 10 to 20,000 young people applied and are qualified. Meanwhile, the military is going to take only 4,000 people. This current recruitment, just 4,000. The Accra Center alone has more than 5,000 people. That is the difficulty that we face.
Honorable member, this one, I can tell you are speculating. Let's move away from that.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I know what I'm talking about.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, but that's the truth. But if you, I'll seek your guidance, but that's the truth. But Mr. Speaker, I am saying that I will support the call to hold the process, not just at LWAC, but the entire recruitment process. To really look at the exercise and give ourselves some time, Mr. Speaker, to find out what is happening. That's the first thing I would suggest. Mr. Speaker, the second thing, so that the military can reform, because we have not seen this for a long time. We get bruises, people, but to get people to die and we just continue as if nothing has happened is not good. So I will support that call. Mr. Speaker, I would also support the call that the acting Minister for Defense, and Mr. Speaker, I'm choosing my words well, not the Deputy Minister, the acting Minister for Defense should come and brief this House. Not just on only this isolated issue. This is a very serious matter, but not just on this. When the incident in Obuasi happened and we lost 7 to 8 lives, the minister never came here to brief the House. 2, even when the most unfortunate incident happened and the minister lost his life, Mr. Speaker, I don't remember that they came to brief you and this House on the incident. But now that the report is out, I think that they should combine all this and come and brief the House properly on these 3 things. The Obuasi incident, the issue of what has just happened today, and the military Z9 headquarters incident. They should brief this House properly so that they'll tell us what is happening. Then we can be seized as representatives of the people, what is going on. Mr. Speaker, I say this with a heavy heart because I just left that ministry after spending 8 years. God being gracious to me, things like this didn't happen under my watch. It's the will of God. It's not by me, but it's by the grace. And so I will urge the minister to come. Mr. Speaker, if you do remember, when soldiers went to war, young soldiers reported in war, and the following day they went out brutalizing people, I came to this House to brief the House. I came to make a statement. I came to brief the House. And I came to tell the House exactly what was happening. In fact, when the punishment and whatever we did was done, I came back to brief this House again. So, Mr. Speaker, there is precedence. There's precedence.
Yeah, majority, just a minute. Majority Leader, I'm really watching the timing. So please, yes.
Mr. Speaker, when we met this morning at conclave, the minority came to lobby that they had a statement on the incident. And I indicated to them that the ministry had plans to come and brief the House. But they insisted on us varying the order of business so that they could make the statement. So, Mr. Speaker, if we had been patient, we would have actually received the minister at statement time to make the statement even before these statements were made. So I want to assure him that the acting Minister for Defense, that's the Minister for Finance, is on his way here to come and make a statement to this House. So please exercise a little patience, and very soon the Acting Minister for Defense will be in this House.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, lately we have been receiving a lot of tutorials from the respected Majority Leader, tutorials on rules of this House. Mr. Speaker, with respect, I submit most humbly that what he just did was not a point of order. Mr. Speaker, when the leader of the House himself chooses convenience over principle, it becomes worrying. It is becoming very convenient that the leader of the House is very intolerant of views that are expressed by this side of the House, and he finds ways to come through a supposed point of order and even issue threats. Mr. Speaker, this must stop. As and when it pleases the Majority Leader, he uses the rules to stop people from expressing their opinion. Mr. Speaker, this is House of Parliament. We do not have any problem at all if the strict practice is that rules. It will be an opportunity for us to learn and learn. But he who comes to equity must do equity. He must do equity. Enough of this, Mr. Speaker, and I humbly beg that if he is talking about rules, he himself should practice it. What is happening, Mr. Speaker, in this House is amounting to the Majority Leader using the back door to introduce a certain culture of silence, to silence the views of the minority. That is what he's doing, so that he would intervene to stop your thought pattern and have his way, instead of patiently waiting for his time to make his own views known. This must stop. It must all come from the leader of the House.
Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, it is obvious that the Minority Leader has issues. He has issues. And I think, like the Speaker said last week, when we are discussing football, somebody jumps to discuss mpede. Mr. Speaker, if you go and review the cameras, you will see that your deputy whip at the beginning walked to me here and came and pleaded with me that I should allow him to vary the order of business so that Ato Forson will make the statement. He came here and pleaded with me. He came here and pleaded with me. The cameras bear testimony. The cameras bear testimony. Mr. Speaker, at that point, if I wanted to silence the minority, I would have told him that I will not allow you to vary the order of business because the minister is coming here. I would have opposed the application for the variation.
Honorable Member, what are you doing? What are you doing? Please, you can heckle a colleague, but you don't use your hand and be clapping and doing this and that. That is noise. You can't do that.
And what are you doing? And what are you
Please,
doing?
please,
And
please,
what are you
please. You started today on a very good note, calling on us to work together. Please. The Honorable MP in blue dress spoke very well here. I got a response over there calling on us and all Ghanaians to work together. Meanwhile, you yourself seated here cannot work together. Differences is natural. It depends on how you express the difference. What you do here is you try to persuade. You don't persuade a person by shouting at the person. You don't. You have to use a voice, modulate it in a way, the tone, the words, how you express it to convince the person. You only do that when you go to boys or girls. But you are here. You are not only talking to your colleague here, you are talking to the whole country and the nation. Why? We are faced with a very sad occasion. And again, it's not words, actions. Let the Ghanaian people see that really is shocking. You are sad, and that you want to do something about it. This is not an issue you use for politics at all. Please. The Speaker should not participate in debate, but the Speaker is not among the three monkeys. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. That is not the role of a speaker. The national interest prevails, and how to protect it. You know it, that part of our rules talk about interruption of debate. Go through it in the standing orders. One of them is the point of order. Read it yourselves. It goes beyond point of order. When you have information and you want to share, at the time a member is talking, you are also allowed to interrupt. Please, let's continue to cooperate and let the good people of Ghana know that we are truly representing them, not parties. Honorable Dominic Nitiwul, you may go on now.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, I thank you, and I thank leadership. I'm treading a very fine line because I just left the place. And you know that the military is a very disciplined institution. And I would have wished and prayed that this didn't happen to the military. But unfortunately, we are where we are now. And so I'm treading cautiously. And as you also know, most of my predecessors have not had the opportunity to sit in Parliament after leaving that office. So they virtually kept quiet. So I have to always juggle between and mind how I carry myself because of the position that I held. So, Mr. Speaker, I say, and I still repeat, that I support the position that we should hold the whole process and review it. 2, I also think that the minister should come and brief us. And I'm happy he said he's briefing us on only this particular thing. But I said that if he briefed us on the 3 key things that happened, it would have helped us. Especially the report that just came. It will have helped the nation and all of us because we are representing the people. Once they brief Parliament, we have briefed the nation. And thirdly, the other security agencies who also do recruitment. It's not just the military. They have also started advertising. And their numbers are even bigger than that of the military. And so we anticipate that the problems that we are seeing today, if the Minister for Defense and the Minister for the Interior do not sit to see how they can make sure that they reform the process, we may be getting worse situations, and we don't want that to be repeated. So I'll urge both ministers to look at how they will go about their intakes, Mr. Speaker, so that we don't get this repetition of issues any longer. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, this only tells us that we have a big problem in the country. Yes. A problem of unemployment. Big problem. And Mr. Speaker, the earlier the political class plus the leaders of this nation do something about it, the better for us. Because if young men all across the world, it's difficult to get people to serve in the military. People in US, people literally had to be begged to serve in many militaries. And today, young men and women are all rushing just because they want to serve in the military. I don't know whether it's for job purposes they are doing that, or it's just the love of serving in the military. That is happening. But I will lean towards the fact that people want to survive. People want a job. And Mr. Speaker, I can say that we have a big problem of unemployment. And these teeming youth who are outside, between the ages of 21 when they have completed school and 25, if we don't do something about them, Mr. Speaker, this nation called Ghana, we may regret one day. I don't know when, but I can say that it's easier, or it is better for the political class to think together. And I like the way you said we should work together. We should work together and find a solution to it immediately. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, we may regret. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, a female voice.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on the statement ably made by my colleagues. Mr. Speaker, I wish to first of all express my condolences to the bereaved families. It is really, really very painful to have our children to go for recruitment only for us to lose them. But I want us to all take solace in the Almighty Allah. There is nothing that happens that doesn't happen at the right time. This is what the Almighty Allah has ordained for them. Today is their day. No matter how, no matter what, no matter who was there, as what, even if we brought all the presidents of the world to sit there as ministers or whatsoever, once today is ordained for them to die, they will. And this is what has happened. Unless you don't believe in the oneness of God, unless you don't believe in the oneness of the Almighty Allah, it is not anybody who wanted them to die. There is no single officer there who wanted even one single soul to pass. Not even one person hoped and prayed that one person would die there. Let us understand that. If that were the wish of anybody, I haven't seen or thought of that person. Mr. Speaker, I appreciate what you have said. Let us work together. If there are mistakes, let us look into it. I've heard one of my colleagues saying that there are other recruitments to come on. Yes, that is true. It's a very big lesson, and we use the problems that have occurred or the mistakes that would have taken place, and we correct ourselves and forge ahead. We are sitting here, and most probably we might be talking and looking at it politically, with a political lens. But who knows those who have passed? Who knows whether they voted for NDC, MPP, PNC, or even they never voted? But here we are worried. We are not happy because we didn't wish them and we never thought of that. So let us be conscious of that. Let me appreciate the President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, for putting a halt to the activity at the Elwak Stadium. Mr. Speaker, I wish to suggest that whether now or in the future, decentralization should be properly done. It could even be done by districts, not regions, by districts. And if we can go down to the grassroots, it can even be by constituency. After all, they are all Ghanaians and they are our people. Rather than let people travel maybe from Pusiga to Accra, the Elwak Stadium, only to come and then die when nobody ever dreamt of it. So, Mr. Speaker, I wish to call on all of us to stay united and then to talk and to note that we are a representative of everybody and not one particular person. And that when something like this happens, we should fight together, forge ahead, look at the best that will lead us on our way forward. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Who is senior? The two of you, who is senior? The two of you, who is senior? You are senior. Yeah, we'll come to you, don't worry. You want to yield to him?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this special opportunity.
Sorry, just a minute. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I think I need your guidance in this matter. In the course of the contributions members are making, they have sought information from government on what is to be done, what shouldn't be done, what measures should be implemented, and etc. Given that the minister responsible now for defense is in the House, I want to find out whether after we have commented on the statement, if the minister now comes and makes a statement, if leave is granted by your good self, whether we will again be commenting on the statements that has been made by the minister, or that it may be convenient at this stage for us to permit the minister to now make the official statement that members have been calling for, after which we can then take on board any information that the minister may be giving us, so that we take on board those pieces of information and then continue with the contribution. But that's just guidance I'm seeking from you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Will the, sorry, Minority Leader.
Speaker, with respect. Mr. Speaker, what we are doing now is guided by Order 93. Now, if the minister chooses to come before us, he comes here under Order 91. There is no such estoppel rule that would operate against comments by members under Order 93. If the Honorable Minister comes to this House to make a statement, which statement will be regulated by 91, the rule permits under 91(4) for members of this House to make comments. So, Mr. Speaker, with respect and in all humility, I do not think that there is anything at all for your guidance to be sought on the majority leader, most respectfully, must allow the chair to guide proceedings under the rules that have been invoked for now. If the minister later comes to say he has something to say, nothing stops the minister. And that one would also be guided by a different rule. But to say that he wants to find out whether if the minister comes and says something, members will be permitted to make comment. Mr. Speaker, that would be another speculation that the rules would not permit. So, Mr. Speaker, I beg of the majority leader to allow proceedings to go on without any interruption. I so submit, sir.
Honorable members, it's for the reasons that the minority leader has just adduced that I wanted clarification. Whether he was going to make the statement as a minister or as a member of the House. As the minority leader stated, they come under two different standing orders. And if he's making it as a minister, definitely Order 91 will apply. If he's making it as a member, then Order 93 will apply. And 91(2) says, honorable members, please we need your attention. This is an important matter. Are you vexed or you are leaving the premises? You are leaving. Honorable member. Honorable members, Order 91(2) says a minister of state may make a statement of government policy, and the statement shall A, be limited to facts which are necessary to be made known to the House, and B, not contain matters that are likely to provoke debate. But if it is statement by a member, because the statement has already been made by a member, what he will be allowed to do as a member is to comment on that statement. And that will be limited to what? Not exceeding 5 minutes. But if he's making the statement as a minister, it's not limited to the 5 minutes, but it will be limited by the A and B. But for comments, the same for members with regard to statement by minister or statement by a member. It's the same. In such a way, you make a statement in such a way that it doesn't provoke debate and it also does not exceed the 5 minutes on both occasions. So that's why I wanted to know, are you going to make the statement as a minister or as a member?
Mr. Speaker, he will make the statement as a minister.
Now, if he's going to make the statement as a minister of state, and that comes under Order 91, and it is on the same subject, I'll then allow him to make that statement. Then we now continue with the comments by members. He may disclose some facts which may be necessary to be known by the House, and that will guide members in their comments. So the Minister may do so now.
Right Honorable Speaker, I come before you this afternoon, to inform the House of a tragic incident that occurred this morning.
Minister, just a minute. My attention has been drawn to the presence of some deaconess with us, and they have another commitment. And so let me just recognize their presence. And by doing so, the other visitors, just two groups. We have Deaconess Mary Ampa leading a group of women referred to as area women leaders from Shefi Juaboso. They come from the church Yes, they come from the Church of Pentecost. They are 54 in number. Please, on behalf of the House, I warmly welcome you to Parliament. You have a lot of your members here. The Church of Pentecost has a lot of members as members of Parliament. So we thank you for producing so many members for the Parliament of Ghana. You are welcome. Please listen, watch their behavior, and help me to manage them. Thank you so much. You are warmly welcome. Resume your seats. We also have one Daniel Bahuli, and he's leading a group from Ningo Prampram as the executive director. And the group is, in fact, is written in French. Le Passerelle Global Ghana. There are 96 in number. You are also warmly welcome. Bienvenue. I'm sure they are studying French. And please, you get opportunity here to teach the members of Parliament French. Many of them here are completely illiterate when it comes to French. I am in basic school of the French language, so at least I understand something. You are welcome, and you may resume your seats. Now, Minister, you may present your statement.
Speaker call. Mr. Speaker.
Just a minute. He's pointing, drawing my attention to something. Yes.
Speaker, in the spirit of strictly going by the rules, Speaker, if you may, Order 91, already we have been told by the majority leader that the minister is coming under Order 91. And Speaker, if I may read Order 91, it says, the Speaker may make statement on any matter of interest to the House. Order 91.2. A Minister of State may make a statement of government policy. Government policy. And the statement shall, and it goes on and on. Is it the case that our acting Minister for Defense,
Honourable Member, you are completely out of order. Why? Oh, God. I read the same standing orders, and I referred to the same issues. Drew his attention to that. Please, now you are repeating and asking questions. Why? Oh, it meant that, please, you know how this thing originated. Your leader was not at the conclave, but you were present. You came with the statement to me at the lobby. And because of the emergency involved, we decided to admit it so that you can make it today. You insisted to vary the order of the business. That was conceded to. And that is why the majority leader even raised the issue that even if we're taking the business according to how it's captured on the order paper, the minister would have been available at the time the statement would have been made. But we varied the order of the business, and it was made earlier than questions. And so the minister was not available, and that the minister will be coming to make the statement. It is under this. But why I said you are out of order is that I've already done what you are doing. And I drew his attention before the majority leader got up to say, yes, he's coming to make a statement as a minister, not as a member of parliament. And so I permitted him to do so, guided by the standing order 91-2. Please,